This is Cyber Defense Radio with your host and cybersecurity expert, Gary Malevsky. Gary brings to you another globally recognized cybersecurity executive in the hot seat today.
Sitting in my hot seat, I have the honor and privilege to welcome back Roy Kikuchi, Global Partner Alliance Manager of Safous. Safous is part of Internet Initiative Japan, the longest running internet service provider in Japan, an amazing company, and Safous is award-winning. And today we're going to talk about one of the new attack vectors for ransomware and how Safous can help us. Roy, welcome back to the hot seat.
Okay, thank you, Gary. Actually, that's nowadays ransomware attack, ransomware incidents are everywhere. And actually, ransomware, cyber attack incident has two big root, two big vectors. One is the vulnerability of remote access. 83% of ransomware attacks, coming from that vulnerability of remote access as an entrance. The other reason is privileged account. So 68% of ransomware attacks, says get from a privileged access shift.
That's incredible. I had no idea. So enter remote privileged access management or remote PAM. Is this for devices? Is this for people? Is this for OT equipment? What does remote PAM do, and how does it work, and who's it for?
Okay, so to answer the question, so again, let me get back a little bit about the two big vector. So as I said, two big reasons, vulnerability of remote access, and the other is the privileged account shift. Of course, the industry, IT sector has already, existing solutions. So typically VPN for, remote access and PAM. So privileged access management is for managing that privileged access, of course. But the VPN is actually that's, getting old and like yesterday's solution. So nowadays VPN has a lot of vulnerability. So VPN is no longer the safe way for remote access. On the other hand, privileged access management, this is okay, and this is nice. And so typically, it's a very, very expensive and complicated. So, okay, so for large enterprise, the government, maybe they are okay. They can afford to, adapt the existing PAM solutions. But for any other, companies, organization, it's still tough to purchase and deploy the PAM solution. That is challenging. So, and if they want to integrate the remote access VPN and existing PAM solutions, another headache is popping up because they need to, associate this log, these users, and this users, and this log, and this log. So they need to find out what happens for both solutions. But Safous can offer privileged remote access as one consolidated remote access solution. One consolidated remote PAM solutions that should be together. So customers or users only can configure for that both remote access and privileged access management at the same time. And once if something happened, still customers can easily find and log and get to know that what happened.
So how does remote PAM, how does Safous' solution stop the ransomware from, and even ransomworms from traversing networks and locking down equipment? You remember WannaCry took down the British hospital system. 1,400 computers were locked down and ransomed. How do you stop that?
Okay, so Safous offer that both remote access and privileged account management. For that remote access part, Safous use zero trust technology. So basically using that called ZTNA, which stands for Zero Trust Network Access technology for that. So this is, much more more secure than VPN. So this is more like, cutting edge technology. So basically it's to hide any applications from the internet. So this is a first protection at the gate. And at the same time, Safous also, according to the zero trust principles, offer, just like stronger authentication with multi-factor authentication for both identity, I mean that's for users and device, and sometimes the application as well. Then Safehouse gives us a permission, only, necessary permission for that authenticated user or device. So it's prevents lateral movement from the attacker's way. And finally, Safehouse can connect that user or device anyway, identity to application directly with only, least privileges.
That's great. Roy, does this help with, we don't know the state of the computer, the hygiene of third parties accessing our system, but there's so many third parties. Supply chain management 101. We just don't know the posture or the posture assessment. Do you help resolve that, or does Remote PAM with the ZTNA lock it down in case they do have bad hygiene?
Okay, so talking about the posture management, so Safehouse have both like a user posture management and device posture, detections. We have both. For users, Safehouse can detect from where, which country, or of course, when, and from which, IP address or what's the behavior. And also for device posture, this device is their, customer's company device or not, or this device has that antivirus software, or connect to that like some domain network, or have that some like a specific registry or something. So very precisely and granularly, Safehouse can detect.
And for large organizations who have lots of consultants in all different places coming in remotely, how does Safest Remote PAM handle the scalability and does it offer redundancy?
Okay, so scalability, redundancy. So this is very safe as is good at the point. So for scalability, unlike a VPN or other solutions, easily that if safe as easily if the customers at the like a Safest app gateway in that multiple site. So Safest, one user portal consolidates all application at the same time. So not like a VPN. So for VPN, so they need to sometimes change that this connect destinations. Okay, let's connect to that data center one, then next connect to that office B or something. But the Safest can get that all application and consolidated to the one portal. And redundancy, same. So all that app gateway can run as a like active. So if they put like two app gateway on the same place, so yeah, it's just easily running as a redundancy.
What if I already have an IAM, identity and access management solution? Do you integrate with it and offer Remote PAM with
Yeah, yeah, so basically that the Safest have the features of all of, ZTNA, Zero Trust Network Access, and PAM solutions, and some IAM features. So Safest has a, a certain level of IAM, but still, many customers already have the Okta or Google Workspace or Entra ID or any other identity management tools. That's totally no problem. So Safest can easily integrate with them. And like, okay, for this user, they can use the Google Workspace account, or this contractor, they can use local ID. Maybe just this user, they can use Active Directory accounts. So this is a kind of, unique, selling points. Safest can consolidate many IAA, many, identity management service at the same time.
now, a lot of critical infrastructure has operational technology that's legacy gear that just can't change. How do you secure remote privileged access management for the OT space? Can you do
Okay.
that?
Yes, thank you. For OT sections, nowadays, a big challenging is getting that more attacks more and more. So a lot of ransomware attacks, targeting that OT sectors. And the another challenging is basically OT systems is pretty legacy. So not like that, latest operational systems or those operational operational systems, basically they cannot install that, latest endpoint EDR software, endpoint software. So that is challenging. But the Safous can protect them as a gateway, as a, just like an add-on service. Put the Safous in front of that, those legacy OT systems, that's enough. So customers, employee, or remote operators just need to access to the Safous, not to directly access to the OT devices. So Safous can manage, control, and manage that full access to that which one with the strong, audit trail. And the Safous can, give them to that like a list of privileges. Oh, you can access that this OT device. In maybe that during that workday, business only business hours or something, or Safous can give that like instant access permission for that this contractor. Then sometimes the supervisors can see what's happened, but what the operators are doing in real time.
That's amazing. And is this point and click quick setup? And who's the target customer? What kind of customers are deploying remote PAM?
Yeah. So nowadays, most of the company, many of company have that, third-party contractor or external consultants. So basically, that's all of them need these remote PAM solutions because many of the customers, they, care enough about the employee. So they are offering that remote access for employee, or sometimes they are using that PAM solution for like internal administrator. But this external contractors management, third-party vendor risk management is a missing part. So they need to care about. That is about the OT part. So, sorry, that is about the IT part. But for OT systems, particularly, very, mission critical OT system providers need these solutions. Because sometimes, PAM is only designed for that IT, only designed for employee. And VPN, as I said, has a, lot of vulnerability. So this Safe's preview remote access solutions is designed for both IT and OT. So very seamless, very like a conflict-less, so both IT and OT people can use that.
That's wonderful. And are you selling into Europe, into the US, North America, Latin America, Asia? Where do you sell?
Yeah, actually, that's we are selling that all that region. But our company the headquarters is in Japan, so still majority of customer base is in Asia. But which is good because Asia is a manufacturer, the world manufacturer or world of the factory. So now we are getting that a lot of OT use case and IT OT customer base in Asia.
That's great. And is it point and click setup? Does it take a week, a month, a year? How long does it take to get set up? And do we need a lot of training or is it very easy?
Particular, averagely just 5 minutes or 10 minutes is enough for deployment. Then basically that, Safeas can act as both agentless and agent, but most of the customer using as agentless for this agentless use case. So it's very pretty easy to understand. So most of the customers don't need any training.
That's great. Roy, is there anything we haven't covered that you'd like to share with our viewers and listeners?
Okay. So maybe that's we talked about the third-party vendor risk management or how to modernize the legacy security, and maybe that we should touch a little bit about regulatory compliance. So because of that, increase in ransomware attack, so any countries now have a cybersecurity law, privacy data protection law, or many in industry, particularly for finance sector, manufacturing sector, they have regulations, they have a compliance. So for MSPs or of course the customers, it's tough to check off that all that checklist of that regulations. But since Safous is remote PAM solutions, so just with one solutions, we can check off that many of the checklist. So that is another side of the reason why our customers chose the Safous.
That's great. Roy Kikuchi, the Global Partner Alliance Manager of Safous, a company that is spearheading secure remote access management with PAM, secure remote PAM. This is amazing. And, we've got ransomware, we've got OT legacy gear, we've got IT and OT headaches, and tons of contractors with remote access. If you don't have Safous, you're in trouble. So get Safous today. Get one step ahead of the next threat.
You've been listening to Cyber Defense Radio. Stay tuned next time for another amazing and informative episode. CyberDefenseRadio.com is proudly part of the Cyber Defense Media Group, where InfoSec knowledge is power.
Cyber Defense TV and Cyber Defense Radio have launched 24/7 by 365 live streams. Visit them online today at cyberdefense.tv and cyberdefense.radio with your host and globally recognized cybersecurity expert and my good friend, Gary Milewski.